Okay, so just went to the cinema to see Warfare. Okay, this is the new film from Alex Garland and Ray Mendoza. They both direct and write the project. It is produced by Andrew MacDonald, Matthew Penry Davey, Alan Reich, and Peter Rice. It is line produced by Charlie Reed. David J. Thompson is on cinematography. Finn Oates edits the piece. Casting was handled by Kamal Cochran. Mark Digby is production design. Art direction, we have Charlie Meakin and Declan O'Brien. Costume design, we have David Crossman and Neil Murphy. We've got prosthetics, special makeup, hair, all of that jazz. Right, we have Raquel Barbara, Ben Chalmers, Zach Coyle, Sophie Flynn, Paul Gooch, Ellie Mae Martinez Langton, Sutana Palmer, Tristan Versluis, and Mary Zimes. The cast. Right, so we have got actually let's go here because it's probably better. Right, so Ray Mendoza is played by Dafaro Woon-A-Tai. Eric, the officer in charge, is played by Will Poulter. Elliot Miller is played by Cosmo Jarvis. We've got Jake, played by Charles Melton. Sam, played by Joseph Quinn. Tommy, played by Kit Connor. John, played by Finn Bennett. Frank, played by Taylor John Smith. L.T. McDonald, played by Michael Gandolfini. Aidan Bradley plays Sergeant Lyrmus. Noah Centineo is played by Brian Zowie. Evan Holtzman is Brock. Aaron is played by Henry Zaga. Alex Brockdorf plays Mikey. Nathan Alti is Farad. Donya Hussen is Noor. So they were the I guess you would say the guides, the local guides, right, from Iraq. And Bob is played by Aaron Deakins. So the gist of the story is, right, the film embeds audience with a platoon of American Navy SEALs on a surveillance mission gone wrong in insurgent territory. A boots-on-the-ground story of modern warfare and brotherhood told in real time and based on the memory of people who lived it. Right? So that's the thing, right? This is based on an experience Ray Mendoza had. You know what I mean? So that's, that's crazy. So the film is dedicated to Elliot Miller, right, played by Cosmo Jarvis. Now, everyone else in the film, so Miller and Mendoza are who they are. Everyone else has been given, pseudonyms, as it were, right? Because I imagine a lot of them are still serving officers. So, you know what I mean? You don't want your likeness plastered all over the shop. You know what I mean? So at the end of the film, they do show a picture of the person who is being portrayed, right? So we've got the actor and the real life person, and a lot of them, the face is blurred out. You know what I mean? So Joseph Quinn's character Sam is based on Joe Hildebrand. We've got who else does have? Okay, I think he's the only one where they give the other name, you know. But yeah, it's, because Garland worked with Mendoza when he made Civil War. Mendoza was the military supervisor. So from that, they've had conversations and, they came up with this, story, this experience. And it's shot in real time. So it's not a day, it's not a week, a month, a year, anything like that. It is, probably a couple of hours, if that, right? It's just a moment. And it's, oh man, like coming off the back of things like Sinners, you know what I mean? And the Thickets and Shadow of God, films like this that are really well done. But it's like this narrative story. This is a completely different experience, right? So we have them, the team going into a house, right, for surveillance reasons. And then it all goes wrong, you know what I mean? But it's just the notion of busting into this house, right? They discover there's people living in the house. And, you know what I mean? Those people, they're not beaten up or anything like that. But they have no choice about, we're taking over the house. You know what I mean? So they have to just sit in a room and chill. So, you know what I mean? You feel for these people. But also you understand that these soldiers have got a mission, right? So they're trying to do a thing. But yeah, for whatever reason, it all falls apart. This mission falls apart. But before that, right, we have the waiting. And that aspect of this film really reminded me of Killer. I think The Killer. It was the David Fincher film with Michael Fassbender, right? It was really good. I really enjoyed it. And the thing I enjoyed about that film was it's, showing the minutiae of what that would be, right? The casing a joint, working out your exit strategies, it's waiting. It's like, oh, the person doesn't turn up, we come back the next day. And it's just all of that, right? Where in a lot of films you watch, someone turns up, sees a target, boom, shoots him. And then they're just walking out free. And you're just like, that's kind of neat, right? That's rather tidy. It feels like it can't be like that. So what Fincher showed us was great. And with warfare, a lot of, we'll have a war film. And we have this team and they'll go in and then they'll, boom, blow things up straight away and then they're out and it's all, but you never see the waiting around, right? Of having to move because you've been lying in this position for so long, right? It's people being irritating. It's the little things, they find to amuse themselves. All of this is here. And that, it's fascinating. And it also, really, it builds the tension and gives you this understanding of these people. You know what I mean? And like you've got the new guy who's, like, oh, I can't see anything. And hey guys, you okay? You okay? Ah, do you want coffee? Do you want tea? And everyone else is just like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, conserve your energy, son. So we see all of this stuff. And then when shit hits the fan, oh my God. Right? Because what we see here, you know what I mean? We're close up to everyone. But we have these moments outside where we then have these wider shots where you can see a lot of the streets, right? Buildings and everything like that. And we're watching our team try and, cover angles, right? Cover each other. All of this. The way they demonstrate, like, concussion, shock, right? Just all of that, right? What happens if you're caught with a bomb, right? What happens? How does that impact you? How does that affect you? And it's really well done, man. Like, I'd say it's masterful, but I don't know what it's actually like. But the way they showed it, it feels like they nailed it, right? And the fact that Mendoza was there, they spoke to the rest of his team. So the film is based on real life experiences. You know what I mean? Like, oh, do you remember what you did when this happened and this? It's not just like, oh, well, it'll be cool if we have the person do this, right? It's not any of that. So showing the reaction, like people just stuck staring, and then you have them kind of realize, oh, I've got to move. But then again, you're like, oh, and you're stuck staring and you're just in this shock, right? Because I don't know, I've had several concussions, right? And yeah, you just feel just all over the place, right? Like you're underwater. And they really, for me, that's what this felt like, right? And it was, oh my gosh, they did a fantastic job. And just showing the horrific aftermath of everything, right? How just bad it gets. And then also people running into the action, bullets whizzing all around, and they're trying to find the snipers and get the shots off, and just, what I mean? Like, we get a sense of what that's like, I'm just so happy there's no mood music or anything, and we just have like this ambient sound, right? The chatter of things, or the ringing, and just all of this really builds up these scenes, builds up the atmosphere, right? Builds up what it must be like, right? What it must be like. It was, it's horrific. It's visceral. It is intense. And Garland and Mendoza do an incredible job of showing us that, right? Bringing all of that to life. The cast was superb. They did a fantastic job, right? What I mean? Just like, even when this other team turn up and you do one of the soldiers, right? Their actions, they just show all of this, and how everyone else is just like, man, dude, calm the fuck down, right? Just, whoo, right? It's an odd film because it's so well done, right? It is so well done, but it's one of them ones where you can't go, that was great. I really enjoyed the fuck out of that, right? It's not necessarily that type of film, but it definitely impacts you, right? Like, you will talk about this with your friends. You will be like, yo, you know a film that really resonates? It's Warfare, man. Like, you will have those conversations. But I don't know if you're going to be like, yo, I loved it. It was so great. But it is great. It is well done. But it is very traumatizing. You know what I mean? Because fuck, I don't know what I would do in that situation, you know? I mean, I probably wouldn't be a Navy SEAL. I'm not sure they're putting some blind motherfucker up in the mix, you know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I mean? It's crazy. And they showed that. So if you do like a war film and you like a film that feels authentic, that feels real, right? Like, when you look at the scenarios, everything makes sense. You know what I mean? It's not one of the ones like, wait, how? Because you know, in so many films, like, people are blown up in the air from a grenade or a bomb or anything like that, and then they just pick themselves up and run off. You know what I mean? Where, you know what I mean? This film shows the actual aftermath, the actual impact of those things. So yeah, if you like a gritty fucking war film, people, right? Something that just makes you feel mad uncomfortable and is really just well done across the board. Like, the special effects. Oh my days, the special effect people. Pat yourselves on the back, the stunt people, just all of these motherfuckers that we don't really see did a incredible job to help bring this to life. So if that's the kind of film you like, then people, you will want to check out Warfare. It's playing right now in cinema.